This week's Premiership Rewind takes us back to the beginning of the 2018 season for another brilliant battle. The Rye House Rockets may be no more, but tonight they are back in action at the National Speedway Stadium, with this evening's meeting brought to us by Thornycroft Solicitors. Well, good evening everybody. It's Thursday night and that means it's race night on the official Belle Vue Speedway Facebook and YouTube channels, and tonight you guys have chosen a cracking meeting. The Belle Vue race is taking on the Rye House Rockets. This meeting brought to us by Thornycroft Solicitors. Make sure you check out their website www.thornycroftsolicitors.co.uk, and you can find them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and LinkedIn. Just search for Thornycroft UK. And if you ever do find yourselves in need of their assistance, be sure to quote Speedway when making your inquiries to receive 10% off their services. So tonight the Rockets are at the National Speedway Stadium, sadly no longer in action on a permanent basis. Good luck to all of you guys who are fighting to bring the sport back to Hoddesdon. Fingers crossed you will be able to do that in the near future. But for tonight's action, those guys have got a heck of a battle against a beast of a Belle Vue team. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over now to the boys for heat number 1. Enjoy the meeting.
Riders on track then for heat number 1 here at the National Stadium. Rye House Rockets in town. Aces determined to secure the Premiership points on offer tonight. And as the riders are at the takes for this opening race, we will take you through the lineup. Going in the yellow and black helmet colour for the Rye House Rockets, in gate number 1, it will be Aaron Summers. Next to him in blue, recent addition to Aces ranks, Paul Starke. In the white helmet colour, gate number 3, Chris Harris. And off the outside, in the red helmet colour, it will be Craig Cook. Referee this evening, Graham Flint, making another visit to the National Speedway Stadium. So his finger will be on the button tonight, as the starting marshal just having his work cut out here to bring the 4 riders to order for the opening race. So as the 4 riders settle down, Chase the Ace excited on the middle there as they come to order. Takes fly where they go. So we start from the man off the inside, Aaron Summers, and it's Summers into the first corner. Coming around the outside of him though, it's the Aces number 1, Craig Cook, and it's Cook that leads. So Cook out front from Summers, Harris in third. Starke was sluggish away. The Aces man out front, looking good. Aaron Summers chasing hard. As you can see, track has been well watered tonight. We've had a few showers as well today. But the meeting underway. And the Aces number 1, Craig Cook, looking superb out front with 2 laps gone of the first race. Cook checks around just to see where the challenge is coming from. Summers is about 10 metres back. Harris similarly so. As they head down the back straight for the 3rd time. Looks to be a shared race situation to begin proceedings here tonight. Craig Cook. Always difficult to come out in the first race, especially when you have gate 4, but Cook, electric away, has made it count. And to be fair, hasn't been put under too much pressure. Just one final check back, he takes the checkered flag of victory. Cook with the win. Aaron Summers comes home for 2nd, Chris Harris for 3rd, and that was all about the first lap for the Aces number 1, Craig Cook. Coming round on a lap of honour. Fair old crowd in tonight. Rye House, not one of the fancied teams in this year's Premiership, but nevertheless they've got plenty of experience throughout their team. But Craig Cook for the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces gets the home side off to a good start there in heat number 1. So Craig Cook with the win, Aaron Summers for 2nd, Chris Harris for 3rd. A shared race to begin here this evening. On we go then to heat number 2. We have 3 riders at the line. We're just awaiting the arrival of Australian Jye Etheridge, who's back in Aces colours tonight. Was forced to sit out last week after crashing up at Glasgow, but good to see that Jye Etheridge back and able to take his place for the Aces tonight. Jye Etheridge arrives then and will line up in the red helmet colour gate number 1. Next to him, coming in as a guest for Rye House tonight, Nicholls B. Jakobsen. Jakobsen replacing Stuart Robson, who once again unfortunately is on the injury list. Daniel Bewley goes in the blue helmet colour gate number 3, and off the outside in yellow and black it will see Max Clegg. So we mentioned Stuart Robson crashing out at Redcar whilst representing Newcastle last Thursday, has suffered a broken finger, and so Nikolai B. Jakobsen called upon here this evening. So the 4 riders settle down then for heat number 2. Takes fly where they go. Swift start out again, number 1 for Joy Etheridge. He's first into the first corner. Here comes Daniel Bewley round the outside of his team partner, and it is aces 1 and 2. Bewley takes it up then from Etheridge. It's B. Jakobsen in third with Clegg tailed off at the back. Here comes B. Jakobsen, the Dane, looking through on the inside of Joy Etheridge, but Etheridge at this stage just has second spot. B. Jakobsen though trying to keep him behind, and not too much between those two. Bewley is cleared off and gone. Etheridge riding his own race in second. Here comes B. Jakobsen down on his inside, having a good look once again. The Dane keeping it low on the curb. Joy Etheridge having to work overtime to keep him behind. Aces 1 and 2. Can they bring home the first maximum of the night? Just over a lap to go. Dan Bewley, he's checked out. The race is all about second place between Etheridge and B. Jakobsen. Jakobsen having another good look down on his inside. He's got to work hard here on the final half lap or so. Bewley, comprehensive, he's going to take the checkered flag of victory, but Etheridge, he's ridden a good race as well. One final challenge coming up from B. Jakobsen, but Etheridge hangs on. It was a good ride by the young Australian, back in aces colours as we say tonight, and he rode well there to keep the Rye House man behind. Untroubled out front and looking supreme was Daniel Bewley, and Bewley begins strongly tonight, and both aces boys coming around on a lap of honour, and that's good to see. Just comparing notes as they ride down the home straight. Daniel Bewley and Joy Etheridge, strong reserve pairing, especially here at the National Speedway Stadium. Bewley taking the win then from Joy Etheridge in second, Nikolai B. Jakobsen in third, a 5-1. And after 2 races, 8 to the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces, 4 to the Rye House Rockets. On we go then to heat number 3. Rye House tonight operating rider replacement for Edward Kennett, who took a spill on the grass track over the weekend. So his ride being taken here by Aaron Summers, back out, having appeared in the first race of the night. The full lineup sees going in the white helmet colour, gate number 1 for Rye House. It is experienced pole former world number 2, Christoph Kasprzak. Gate 2 in blue, it will be the Australian champion Rohan Tungate. Gate 3, yellow and black, Aaron Summers, and off the outside in red, coming as a guest replacement tonight for the sideline Steve Worrell, it will be Charles Wright. So aces holding an early lead thanks to that 5-1 from the reserves. Can they add to it here in heat number 3? Off the takes, away they go. Swift start from the man on the inside, Christoph Kasprzak. He's first into the first corner. Charles Wright slots into second ahead of Aaron Summers. Rohan Tungate missing out, he's at the back. So the Rockets striking back here in the early stages of heat number 3. Here comes Rohan Tungate with a wide outside blast, trying to build up his pace to get around the outside of Aaron Summers. And there's nothing between the 2 Australians at the back of the field. Looking good out front, the classic pole, Christoph Kasprzak, who's always performed well here at the National Stadium since it opened 3 seasons ago. And Kasprzak well clear here of Charles Wright. Tungate now comfortable in third ahead of Aaron Summers. To be a share race situation. Rye House on their way to their first heat winner of the evening. So Christoph Kasprzak untroubled, looking fast and assured out front. Well clear of Charles Wright and Rohan Tungate. And something here for the Rye House fans who've made the long journey up to cheer. Up the final corner they come. Christoph Kasprzak with the win. Close for second, I think Rohan Tungate came through. Charles Wright coming home for third with Aaron Summers at the back. So fine stuff from the former world number 2, Christoph Kasprzak. No lap of honour for him, however. Going to head quickly back to the pits. And that was good stuff from him there in heat number 3. So Christoph Kasprzak with the win. Rohan Tungate for second, Charles Wright for third, a shared race, and thus after 3 heats here at the National Stadium, 11 to the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces, 7 to to the Rye House Rockets. On we go then to heat number 4. First time on show tonight for Max Fricke for the Renchuk Belle Vue Aces. Scott Nicholls lines up for the Rye House Rockets in this one, where he will be team partnered by Max Clegg, who was some way adrift in his first ride. Clegg, the last man to arrive at the Tates for this one. So it will be Max Clegg in the yellow and black helmet colour gate number 1. Daniel Bewley, who was an impressive winner first time out, he's in gate 2 in blue. Gate 3 in white, Scott Nicholls, and off the outside in red it will be Max Fricke. So Rye House, courtesy of that Kasprzak victory in heat number 3. The first heat winner. They'll be looking to Scott Nicholls, I'm sure, to do the same here. But Max Fricke has shown in the early part of this 2018 campaign how dialed in he is here at the National Stadium. So maybe an opportunity for the Aces to add to their lead. They come to order then, heat 4. Takes fly where they go. Good start from the man on the inside, Max Clegg. Certainly gate 1 seems to give you a good run into the first corner. It's Clegg that shows. Here comes Max Fricke round the outside of him. Clegg in second, Bewley in third, with Scott Nicholls at the back. Dan Bewley trying to throw it out into the dirt. He's got to be careful not to allow Scott Nicholls to way through on his inside. Bewley committed though, he's got his sights on Max Clegg, and Bewley's got the pace here, and he roars past Max Clegg down the back straight for the second time. It's Aces 1 and 2 with Fricke out front from Dan Bewley. Super ride from young Bewley there into second. Clegg still in third with, somewhat surprisingly, Scott Nicholls struggling at the back. We saw Nicholls go so well in the 90th anniversary meeting a month or so ago, struggling for pace in this first ride of the night. With a lap remaining, Max Fricke looking good. Second man, Dan Bewley, and the Aces on their way here to their second 5-1 of the evening. Max Fricke well clear of his team partner, but Bewley, he can fend for himself in this one as they come off the final corner. Fricke with the win. Second man home, Daniel Bewley. Third spot, Max Clegg. And the Aces, well fired up once again. And a stunning ride from young Dan Bewley. 2 out of 2 for him. No lapse of honour, it would seem, for Max Fricke. Dan Bewley thought for a moment, but he too is going to head back quickly to the pits. So fine stuff from the Renchuk Belle Vue Aces there in heat number 4, with Max Fricke taking the victory. Daniel Bewley home for second, Max Clegg for third. A 5-1, and after 4 races here, 16 to the Renchuk Belle Vue Aces, 8 to the Rye House Rockets. So track grey concluded. We are on to heat number 5. The lineup for this sees going in the red helmet colour gate number 1, Charles Wright. Gate 2, yellow and black, third ride of the evening, Aaron Summers. Gate 3 in blue, it will be Rohan Tungate, and off the outside in white, Chris Harris. Well, Chris Harris didn't appear to have much pace in his first ride of the night. Couldn't live with Craig Cook in that one. So he'll be looking to do something out of gate number 4. But if Tungate can get dialed in, not going to be easy for Harris from the outside, although he does like throwing the bike out into the dirt, as we've seen throughout his career. Charlie Marshall just having a word of encouragement there, calling Harris up towards the tapes. The two on the inside still guarding there in their respective gates. So the 4 riders appear just about ready then for heat number 5. Takes fly where they go. Superstar for the man on the inside, Charles Wright. Electric into the first corner. Chris Harris, as we predicted, throwing it out into the dirt, although a change of attack there. Through on the inside of Charles Wright. Harris determined there, he knew what he wanted to do. Just needed to manoeuvre the machine, and he takes it up. Harris then from Tungate. It's Charles Wright in third, with Summers at the back. So Rye House, they're number 1. Chris Harris, they'll be delighted he's out front. 2 Aces boys giving chase. But Harris looks to have a bit more pace this time around as they come through to complete 2 laps. Harris then from Tungate. Third spot is Charles Wright. Aaron Summers not in contention in this one. And after the passing manoeuvre of heat number 4, they settle down in this one. It's going to be another share race situation. So Harris comfortably clear of Tungate. Equally spread with Charles Wright in third as they head down the back straight. similar figure wherever he rides is Chris Harris. He's posting his first victory of the evening here in Heat 5. Off the final corner, Chris Harris with the win. Second man home, Rohan Tungate. Third spot, Charles Wright. Good stuff from the Rye House number 1 there. Determined on the first and second corner. Got the bike out into the dirt and then instantly decided what he wanted to do. Cut down on the inside of Charles Wright to take up the lead and to take the victory. So good stuff from Chris Harris. He's delighted with that. Looks to the sky, celebrates his win. Harris with the victory then, 3 points for him. Second man home, Rohan Tungate. Charles Wright for third, a shared race. And after 5 races here at the National Stadium, 19 to the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces, 11 to the Rye House Rockets. On we go then to heat number 6. Aces in control, up by 8, looking to build on it from here on in. With the 4 riders at the line for heat number 6, it will see Scott Nicholls for the Rye House Rockets going in the white helmet colour gate number 1. Next to him, impressive winner first time out, Craig Cook. He's in the red helmet colour gate 2. Gate 3 in yellow and black, just taking a turn and taking up his place, a tactical substitute for the Rockets, Christoph Kasprzak, and off the outside in blue for Belle Vue, it will be Paul Starke. Of course, Rye House down by more than 6, so they're able to introduce a tactical substitute and replacing Nikolai B. Jakobsen in this one. Christoph Kasprzak, who was a very impressive winner in his first outing. The emphasis, I'm sure, on Scott Nicholls to hop off gate number 1. And Rye House, they'll be looking to take a maximum score over the Aces number 1, Craig Cook. So they settle down, heat number 6. Slight movement there from Craig Cook, Rockets electric. Scott Nicholls that shows, Christoph Kasprzak in second. Craig Cook really stood still as the takes flew. And he's now going to have to give chase to the Rockets duo. Cook trying to have a good look down on the inside here of Christoph Kasprzak, but it's Scott Nicholls to have a bit more pace this time around. He's out front, and the Rockets are striking back here in heat number 6. Craig Cook trying to get on the tail here of Christoph Kasprzak. Kasprzak, a wily old campaigner, in second, does go wide there. They're on the top corner, and Cook's not too far behind. So Craig Cook trying to salvage second place here. I don't think he's going to get to Scott Nicholls, but first he's got to get to Christoph Kasprzak. The Rockets 1 and 2 for the first time tonight, looking good. Cook's trying hard in third, but still unable to get past Christoph Kasprzak, and it does indeed look as if Rye House will be striking back here. A tactical substitute working well. Scott Nicholls, no mistake for him from the inside. He takes the checker flag of victory there. Good shot from Nicholls. Kasprzak follows in home for second. First spot, Craig Cook, disappointment for him. He'll be ruining the poor start. The 2 Rye House boys were allowed to get away, and despite Cook's very best efforts, unable to get to them. And so, Rye House strike back with a 5-1 there in heat number 6. Good stuff from them. They'll be relieved having taken their first heat advantage of the evening. Scott Nicholls with the win, Christoph Kasprzak for second, and Craig Cook for third. A 5-1 to the visitors, and thus the score moves on. 20 to the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces, 16 to the Rye House Rockets. Three riders at the takes for heat number 7. Extra time being allowed here for Christoph Kasprzak, who's back out for his scheduled ride. Kasprzak unbeaten so far from his first 2 outings, so looking to maintain that here. As Kasprzak arrives to take his position in gate 2, he goes straight across the tapes, almost breaks them, but no problems. Full lineup for heat 7 sees Max Fricke going in the red helmet colour gate number 1. Next to him in white, Christoph Kasprzak. Gate 3 in the blue helmet colour, it's Jai Etheridge, and off the outside in the yellow and black helmet colour, Nikolai B. Jakobsen. Jakobsen taking the rider replacement ride to make up for being tactical substituted out in his last ride there. So what can Jakobsen do here off the outside? We have to favour Max Fricke, who looked very fast indeed in his first ride of the night. He will line up here off the inside. So the Australian Fricke looking to maintain his unbeaten run. as they come to order. Heat number 7. Takes fly, away they go. Fricke, electric, away he goes. Clear into the first corner. Kasprzak, I think perhaps unnerved by gate 2. He was sluggish away. Third spot coming around the outside, almost of Kasprzak. It's B. Jakobsen. Kasprzak, if anything, goes right in front of his team partner for the night. And it's B. Jakobsen and Kasprzak fighting amongst themselves. Disappointment this time around for Jay Etheridge. He's adrift at the back. He's not going to get to the Rye House duo, but with team partner Max Fricke out front and looking good, the Aces look to be sharing this one. 2 laps gone then of heat 7. Max Fricke sublime out front, loving the wide open spaces of the National Speedway Stadium. As Fricke under no pressure whatsoever from the Rye House duo. Fricke from Kasprzak. Kasprzak looking around just to check where Nicholls B. Jakobsen is, but they're pretty well spread out in this heat number 7. Share race situation means that Belle Vue's 4-point advantage will be maintained as he comes off the final corner. Max Fricke will take the checker flag of victory. He wins it. Second man home, Kasprzak. Third spot went to Nicholls B. Jakobsen. Good stuff from Fricke. Important to make it count from the inside. And as soon as the takes flew and he let the clutch go, Fricke was well clear into the first corner, and really he didn't look back from there. So fine stuff from Max Fricke. He's delighted with that. So Fricke with the victory there in heat number 7. Christoph Kasprzak for second. Nicholls B. Jakobsen for third. A shared race. And thus, after 7 races, 23 to the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces, 19 to the Rye House Rockets. On we go then to heat number 8. Lineup for this one sees Daniel Bewley in the blue helmet colour gate number 1. Next to him, yellow and black for Rye House, Max Clegg. Gate 3, looking for his first points of the evening, Paul Starke. He's in the red helmet colour gate 3, and off the outside in white it will see Aaron Summers. Summers with just a couple of points to his name, a late addition to the Rye House side this year after the deal with Ben Barker fell through. So Summers being called upon to fill the important number 2 berth. Paul Starke coming in the last 10 days or so for Belle Vue as a replacement for the injured Damian Droz. Suggestions that Droz may be very close to a track return. Certainly rode in Poland yesterday. So they come to order heat number 8. Takes fly where they go. Swift start from the man on the inside, Daniel Bewley. And Paul Starke's got out there as well. And the Aces are well clear as they tear down the back straight. Starke takes it up then from Dan Bewley. It's Summers chasing hard in third. Clegg sluggish at the back. No problems this time around for Paul Starke. He had a good start out of gate number 3, and he was there in the first corner to join up with his team partner Daniel Bewley, remaining unbeaten if you can bring this home. Super performance down in the reserve berth for Bewley once again. Such a pivotal part, of course, of this Rentruck Aces side. The Aces here in heat 8, well clear. Rye House have no answer, and Belle Vue's 8-point advantage is going to be restored. Paul Starke and Daniel Bewley looking superb out front. Rye House, well, they really aren't in contention. They're so far behind. But as they come around the final corner, Paul Starke and Daniel Bewley bang in the third 5-1 of the night for the home side. Good stuff from them. Starke with the win, Bewley for second, Summers for third. Disappointing ride for both Rye House men in that one. A handshake between Starke and Daniel Bewley. Both coming round on a lap of honour. Plenty in the south stand tonight, as usual. And Belle Vue, well, they'll be relieved, having taken another 5-1 there. Got back up to 8 points. And, well, celebratory wheelie of sorts there for Dan Bewley. Didn't quite manage it that time. And, well, taking his first points of the night, Paul Starke, he'll be delighted with the win there in heat number 8. Starke with a victory, Bewley for second, Summers for third, 8-5-1. And after 8 races, it's now 28 to the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces, 20 to the Rye House Rockets. 4 riders at the line then for heat number 9. It will see going in the blue helmet colour gate number 1 for Belle Vue, Rohan Tungate. Gate 2 in white, it will be Scott Nicholls. Gate 3 in red, Charles Wright. And off the outside in yellow and black, Nikolai B. Jakobsen. Interested to see what Scott Nicholls can do here off gate number 2, because certainly seems to be a bit of a graveyard gate tonight. Riders struggling to get off the line. Nicholls looked much better last time out once he'd sorted out his mechanical setup. Nicholls, we understand, riding a Godden machine in the early part of this 2018 season, so obviously going to take a while to get accustomed to the right setup on that engine. Belle Vue, I'm sure they'll be looking to make gates 1 and 3 count here as they come to order heat number 9. Takes fly where they go. Swift start out of gate number 2 for Scott Nicholls. He's level with the Belle Vue boys into the first corner, but here comes Charles Wright round the outside, and Nicholls somehow finds himself bundled to the back. It's right then from Tungate. Nicholls, after making a reasonable start, finds himself at the back. He's got work to do here if he wants to get firstly round the outside of his team partner, Nikolai B. Jakobsen. Charles Wright, stunning first lap from him. He's away and gone. Tungate in second, and Belle Vue look to be on their way to another 5-1 maximum here. Nicholls trying hard in third, but he's got plenty of work to do as they come through to complete 2 laps. Charles Wright coming in as a guest replacement tonight for the injured Steve Worrell, and looking very swift indeed here in heat 9. His team partner for the night, Rohan Tungate, looks to have a bit more pace this week. As a lap remains of heat 9, the Aces, another 5-1 here, and Rye House, well, they're in trouble. It's looking good for them after 7 races, just 4 points between the sides, but Belle Vue strong in 8 and 9 with maximums in both of them, and they extend their lead further still. Charles Wright with the win, second man home, Rohan Tungate, Scott Nicholls for third. Fight stuff from the Aces duo, and Nicholls, plenty for him to think about as he heads back to the pits. He made a reasonable start and he got to the first corner with the 2 Belle Vue boys, but somehow found himself bundled to the back, and that allowed the Aces duo to get away. Charles Wright coming round on a lap of honour. Good stuff from Charles, as we say, one night only. Here to replace Steve Worrell, and he bangs in his first win of the evening, and he is very pleased indeed with that. So Wright with the win, second man home Rohan Tungate, third spot went to Scott Nicholls, a 5-1, and thus the score moves on 33 to the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces, 21 to the Rye House Rockets. On we go then to heat number 10. Aces Craig Cook and Paul Starke out in this one. I'm sure Cookie will be looking to bounce back after conceding a 5-1 in his last ride. Paul Starke looked to be back on it in heat 8. So what can the Aces duo do here? They're up against Christoph Kasprzak and Nikolai B. Jakobsen, who will be back out for the rider replacement ride. He's just getting some extra work done down in the pits. Being overworked tonight is the Rye House guest. As you can see, the Aces boys will line up in gates 1 and 3. Certainly proved advantageous tonight, but Christoph Kasprzak in the race, you can never discount him, especially on the wide open spaces of the National Speedway Stadium. I think it's fair to say Kasper, brought up on the big open circuits of Poland, does struggle in the UK on the smaller circuits. That said, he had a couple of seasons down at Lakeside, and I recall about 5 years ago it turned in a performance for Coventry down at Lakeside that was absolutely immaculate. Went through the car that day, and even though I think Coventry ended up on the losing side, Lakeside, one of the most difficult circuits to go to. Take Kasprzak somewhere like Wolverhampton and he looks at times like a novice, but here at the National Speedway Stadium, well, he's in good form so far with paid 8 from his 3 rides so far tonight. With Nikolai B. Jakobsen arriving, Kasprzak just turns back towards the top corner. We'll take you through the full rider lineup. Going in the blue helmet colour, gate number 1 for Belle Vue, it is Paul Starke. Gate 2 in the yellow and black helmet colour, Nikolai B. Jakobsen. Gate 3 in red, Craig Cook, and up the outside in the white helmet colour, Christoph Kasprzak. Starting marshal, just having a check there with the 4 riders. as they come to order heat number 10. Starting Marshall walks away then on heat number 10. Flying takes away they go. Swift start from the man on the inside. Paul Starke instantly looks across to see where Kasprzak is, and Kasprzak is mugged there, although he finds a way back through on the inside of Craig Cook, and Kasprzak takes it up for the Rye House Rockets. Good first lap from him. The ace is looking to respond. Craig Cook looking for a way through here on the inside of Christoph Kasprzak. Kasprzak though goes across the corner slightly. Cook's not too far behind. It's Kasprzak from Cook. Starke in third after having made a good start. Paul Starke, crucial that he brings home the third. He's under no pressure from Nicholls B. Jakobsen, who's struggling for pace in this one. So it's left to Christoph Kasprzak to bring this home for the Rye House Rockets. It won't close the deficit, Belle Vue. I'm sure they'll be pleased to be 12 points up at this stage. As Kasprzak with a lap to go. It's been a classy ride by the pole. He's going to move on to pole 11 from his 4 outings. Certainly the pick of the bunch for the Rye House team tonight as he tears into the top corner for the 4th and final time. Christoph Kasprzak for the Rye House Rockets, he wins it. Second man home was Craig Cook, third spot Paul Starke. Good stuff from the Aces duo. Unfortunately weren't able to keep the Rye House man behind, and Christoph Kasprzak pulls off a really good ride there in heat number 10. The 4 riders are going to head back to the pits quickly. Kasprzak, his fine night continues. He'll be back out in heat number 12. And so as he heads back to the pits, Kasprzak the winner. Second man home, Craig Cook. Third spot went to Paul Starke. A shared race, and after 10 heats here, 36 to the Rentrock Belle Vue Aces, 24 to the Rye House Rockets. Heat 11 at the tapes then. 4 riders already at the tapes. The lineup C is going in the white tummy colour, gate number 1 for Rye House, Chris Harris. Next to him, undefeated so far, it will be Max Fricke. Aaron Summers, disappointing night for the Australian. He's in gate number 3. And off the outside in the blue helmet colour, Jai Etheridge. And Etheridge started brightly enough in the reserves race, but found the competition a little hot in heat number 7. What could he do here in heat 11? The Ace is in control. They lead by 12 with 5 races remaining, so plenty of work for Rye House to do, even if they want to leave the National Stadium with a consolation league point tonight. As Max Fricke just packing down the best starting position there, gate 2. Tyler Marshall walking across just to have a check on Jai Etheridge. Good to see Etheridge back tonight. The last thing Belle Vue would have wanted early part of the season was injuries, but nevertheless, injuries to Droz, to Worrell, to Etheridge. Could have done without all of those. Hopefully it won't be too long before Stevie Worrell makes a return. So they come to order heat number 11. Starting Marshall walks away. On comes the green light. Up fly the takes away they go. Swift start for the man on the inside, Chris Harris. Summers has made a reasonable one as well, although he's quickly headed there by both Belle Vue boys as Harris goes wide. And here comes Jai Etheridge through on his inside. Etheridge then, what can Max Fricke do? Fricke having a look down on the inside of Harris as Harris tries to go straight for the dirt line. And Harris is bundled back into third. It's Etheridge out front from Fricke. And now they've got to keep the Rye House man behind. Harris really fired up here after making a good start. Made a bad mistake on the first lap or so. And it's the 2 Aces boys under severe pressure from Chris Harris here. 2 laps gone. Harris trying to exploit a way through on the inside of Jai Etheridge, trying to force the young Australian wide, but Etheridge won't be denied. Back around the outside, trying to hook up with his team partner Max Fricke. The 2 Australians for Belle Vue out front, looking to bang in another 5-1. Fricke looking across, seeing where Jai Etheridge is. Harris isn't finished, trying to throw it out right into the dirt there. Harris trying to propel himself into first. What can he do on the final half lap or so? Very little between them. Here comes Chris Harris trying to power his way right round the outside. One final challenge coming up from him, but the Aces boys will hang on. Stunning stuff there in heat number 11. Fabulous action. Chris Harris really fired up after making the best start. Somehow got passed by both Belle Vue boys on the first lap or so, and Chris Harris then really had to work hard trying to get back on terms with the Aces duo, but Etheridge and Fricke would not be denied there. Fabulous stuff from them, and they bang in another 5-1 to the home side there in heat number 11. Aces fans in the main grandstand on their feet. They are delighted with that. Fabulous stuff from them. And Belle Vue, well, they're close to victory now. The win in heat number 11 goes to Jye Etheridge. Second man home, Max Fricke. Third spot, Chris Harris, 8.51. And with 11 races gone, 41 to the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces, 25 to the Rye House Rockets. On we move to heat number 12. The 4 riders already at the line. It will see going in the yellow and black helmet colour, gate number 1, Nicholls B. Jakobsen. Gate 2 in red, Charles Wright. He was an impressive winner last time out. Kasprzak goes in white, gate number 3, and off the outside in blue, it will be Daniel Bewley. Kasprzak just taking a turn back up towards the 4th corner, just calming himself down ahead of this 12th race. He's been the pick of the Rye House riders tonight, just 1 drop point to a Belle Vue rider. That was in heat 7 at the hands of Max Fricke. So Kasprzak, I'm sure, will be looking to continue his fine evening's work. He's kept Rye House within touch, although Belle Vue, since the halfway point, have banged in 3.51s. So I'm sure Rye House, they'll be just concentrating, trying to accrue enough points here to secure a Consolation League point, which could be also important in the final stages. We're awaiting the 4 riders, and now there's a problem for Kasprzak. Kasprzak's bike has expired. He's going to try to bump start it to be able to take his place in this 12th race. The bike does fire into life, although Kasprzak's unhappy. No, there is a continuing problem with it. And Kasprzak, I fear, is going to get timed out here on 2 minutes. The other 3 riders turning away from the tapes. As Kasprzak's parked up there. Disappointment for him. His mechanic out to retrieve the machine. And not what Kasprzak wanted. A 2-minute exclusion out of heat number 12.
Now revealing the team manager of the Rye House Rockets will be putting Christoph off 15 metres. 15 metre handicap.
Slight delay ahead of heat 12, with debate going on in the pits whether to bring out a reserve or Kasprzak off 15 metres. The decision is that Max Clegg will take his ride. So Clegg out there in the white helmet colour. The amended lineup then sees going in the yellow and black helmet colour, gate 1, Nicholls B. Jakobsen. Gate 2 in red, Charles Wright. Gate 3 in white, Max Clegg. And off the outside in blue, it will be Daniel Bewley. So Aces, we think favourites in this one as they come to order. Takes fly, away they go. Good start from the man on the inside, Nicholls B. Jakobsen, although Charles Wright's made a reasonable one as well, and Wright gets around the outside of him. It's Bewley in 3rd, although here comes Dan Bewley, powering his way right around the outside of the Dane to join up with Charles Wright, and it's Aces once again, 1 and 2, although Charles Wright, a bad mistake there on the 4th corner, almost lets it slip there. Charles Wright trying to recover things. It's Bewley out front from Wright. 3rd spot is Jakobsen from Max Clegg at the back. His torrid old evening continuing. And the Aces, well, they're looking amongst themselves, trying to bring this 5-1 maximum home. Really, what a performance from this young man. It will move him on to Pay 12, who remain unbeaten by a Rye House man tonight. He's pulling away from Charles Wright, leaving the Aces guest to ride his own race as they come through with a lap to go. Bewley from Wright. Still Jakobsen trying hard in 3rd. As they head down the back straight, Belle Vue is going to be their 6th 5-1 of the night, and they are victorious here at the National Speedway Stadium tonight. Dan Bewley celebrates on 1 wheel, he takes it. 2nd man home, Charles Wright. 3rd spot went to, in fact, Max Clegg in the end. Not quite sure what happened to Jakobsen over the latter stages, but that's no concern of the Aces duo, who are coming around on a lap of honour. Good to see Charles Wright in Aces colours. Of course, will ply his trade for Sheffield in the Championship, also rides for Somerset, and they will be here next week. So Charles Wright using that perhaps as a practice. Celebratory really from Daniel Bewley. He takes the win in heat number 12. Second man home, Charles Wright. Third spot went to Max Clegg, 8.51, and with 3 to go. 46 to the Rentrock Belle Vue Aces, just 26 to the Rye House Rockets. On we go to heat number 13. Aces have wrapped up the victory. Rye House pretty much riding just for pride now. They're not going to even get a consolation league point, even if they were to bang in 3 successive 5-1s to close out the meeting. So a tough night for them in Manchester, and it was looking pretty reasonable in the early stages, but since heat number 7, Belle Vue have just turned the screw. Heat 13 sees going in the red helmet colour for the Rentrock Aces. It's Craig Cook. Gate 2 in white will be Chris Harris. Gate 3 in blue, Max Fricke. And off the outside in the yellow and black helmet colour, Scott Nicholls. I'm sure Rye House would have arrived tonight hoping for more, especially from Harris and Nicholls. Kasprzak's been dialed in, as we've always seen. Goes so very well here at the National Stadium. Of course, had a spell in Aces colours in the past, but that was at the old Greyhound circuit. Very different track is this new National Speedway Stadium circuit. Certainly serves up some great racing week in, week out. That's the 4 riders taking their time here ahead of heat 13. Nobody particularly keen. Fricke's ready. Starting Marshall having his work cut out here. As they finally come to order then. Heat 13. On comes the green light from Graham Flint. Away they go. Good start from the man on the inside, Craig Cook. Max Fricke, however, gets bundled out of things. It's the 2 Rye House boys into second and third, although here comes Max Fricke having a good look down the inside of both of them. And what a first lap that is from Max Fricke. Saw his opportunity through on the inside of Scott Nicholls and Chris Harris. And now it's the Rye House duo giving chase. Out front and looking good, Craig Cook. Max Fricke, a super first lap from him. It's Scott Nicholls in third with Chris Harris tailed off of the back. And Belle Vue, well, absolutely punishing Rye House here. Slight mistake perhaps as they came off the second corner. Max Fricke saw the gap, made a straight line of it, and he joined up with his team partner Craig Cook. So Aces well on their way here to breaking the 50-point barrier. They could very well break 60 if they keep this up. A lap to go. Cook from Fricke. First spot still Nicholls. Disappointment for Chris Harris in this one. Down the back straight they go. Craig Cook and Max Fricke are going to bring it home. Another 5-1 to the Rentrock Belle Vue Aces. That puts an exclamation mark on their performance here this evening. Cook with the victory. Second man home, Max Fricke. Third spot, Scott Nicholls. Disappointment for Chris Harris. And that was well worked by the Aces duo. Cook got out in front, but Max Fricke got bundled out of things into the first corner, but then very, very determined indeed as they tore down the back straight for the first time. Saw a gap through on the inside, and he joined his team partner up front for another Aces 5-1 maximum. Aces fans in the main grandstand on their feet. They're delighted with that. The Aces victorious here this evening. Craig Cook with the win, Max Fricke for second. First spot went to Scott Nicholls, 8.51, and with 2 to go. 51 to the Rentrock Belle Vue Aces, 27 to the Rye House Rockets. On we go then to heat number 14. Aces have been professional in their efforts tonight. They've wrapped up a comprehensive victory over the disappointing Rye House Rockets, who we saw last week at Monmouth Green, Wolverhampton. They were on the wrong end of a drubbing that night as well. And so plenty for Rye House to consider, I think, in the early part of this campaign. Many suggested that their team wasn't as strong as perhaps it could have been. And they're taking their time here in this 14th race. The rider replacement nomination, we understand, will be Christoph Kasprzak, who hopefully will have overcome his mechanical malaise. Either Max Clegg will be replaced by Nikolai B. Jakobsen. We won't see no Clegg's making his way around. Kasprzak this time will line up in gate 1 when he eventually makes his way out of the pits. Time counting down, so he's got to look lively. Aces fans, I'm sure, will be pleased with their team's efforts tonight as Christoph Kasprzak makes his way off the top corner. And Kasprzak will take up his position in that gate number 1. So Krzysztof Kasprzak is gate number 1 in white. Gate 2 in blue will be Jai Etheridge. Gate 3 in yellow and black, Max Clegg. And off the outside in red, Rohan Tungate. Stanley Marshall encouraging the riders to come up towards the tapes as the time approaches 9:10 here at the National Speedway Stadium. Still nobody particularly keen. Etheridge the first to take up his place. Kasprzak will be the last man to settle. Kasprzak would favour from the inside. Showed already tonight in his first run of the night how quick he can be out of the inside trap. As they come to order, heat 14 takes fly where they go, and Kasprzak, as we expected, electric away into the first corner and gone. Rohan Tungate slots into second, although Tungate having a good look down on the inside here of Krzysztof Kasprzak, but the pole won't be denied, and it's Kasprzak out front. Kasprzak from Tungate, third spot, Etheridge ahead of Max Clegg, and with the lap gone, Rohan Tungate, the Australian champion, fired up here, trying to hunt down Krzysztof Kasprzak. Kasprzak knows he's in a race, goes across the second bend corner, chops off the nose there of Rohan Tungate. A quick look behind just to see where the Australian is, and Kasprzak, I don't think he's quite got the optimum setup here as Tungate's right on his tail. Tungate looking for a way past Krzysztof Kasprzak in this 14th race. Very little between the front two. Etheridge has got third spot wrapped up as they tear into the top corner. What can Tungate do? Can he find a way through on the inside of Krzysztof Kasprzak? A lap to go. Absolutely nothing between them, although Kasprzak takes it up, drops his shoulder ahead of Rohan Tungate. Tungate will now try to make a big long straight of it as they head down the back straight. Very, very little into the top corner. Kasprzak won't be denied, powers his way back round the outside. Tungate though, back through on the inside, and the Aces man will take it. Rohan Tungate, brilliant stuff from him there. Wasn't to be denied, determination all the way to the checkered flag, and he takes a sensational victory there in heat number 14. He's coming round on a lap of honour. Fabulous stuff from him. Krzysztof Kasprzak won't quite believe that he let it slip in the final knockings of heat number 14, but Tungate, that's well deserved for his efforts tonight. He will finish on pay 10. His first victory of the night, but a much more solid performance from Rohan Tungate, and he will be delighted with that. Aces fans on their feet, jubilant at the performance there of Rohan Tungate, who takes a fabulous victory in heat number 14. Second man home, Krzysztof Kasprzak. Third spot went to Jai Etheridge, a 4-2. And with one heat remaining here at the National Stadium, 55 to the Rentrock Belle Vue Aces, 29 to the Rye House Rockets. Heat number 15 then, final action of the night, and earning his place in heat 15, Mark Lemon, the team manager of the Rentrock Belle Vue Aces, punts for Max Fricke and Dan Bewley. Bewley, undefeated so far, gets the nomination, nothing to lose in this one. Aces have comfortably wrapped up the victory, and so Fricke and Bewley will be their representatives in this last race of the night. Just making his way around to take up his position here in gate 2 for the Rye House Rockets will be Scott Nicholls. His team partner in this one will be Krzysztof Kasprzak, probably the best two. Maybe a case to be made for Chris Harris's inclusion, but team manager of Rye House, Peter Schroeck, deciding that Nicholls and Kasprzak will be his two men in this final race of the evening. So the full lineup sees going in the red helmet colour, gate number 1 from the inside, Max Fricke. Gate 2 in white, Scott Nicholls. Gate 3 in blue will be Daniel Bewley, and off the outside, just taking a turn in yellow and black, Krzysztof Kasprzak. Belle Vue, well, they'll be absolutely delighted. More league points here at home. What a performance it's been from them tonight. Bewley, sensational, paid 12, undefeated. If he could secure a paid maximum in this sort of company, well, what a performance it's been from this young man. Max Fricke maintaining his fine form, also paid 12. He'll be looking for a paid max as they come to order heat number 15. Stanley Marshall is happy with them. He walks away. Fly the tapes, away they go. Good start for the man on the inside, Max Fricke. It's Fricke into the first corner. Christoph Kasprzak though trying to come around the outside of him. Bewley's missed out, he's at the back, although he's quickly around the outside of Scott Nicholls, and Bewley in fact slots into second, coming around the outside of his team partner. Fricke in third with Kasprzak out front, and here come the Belle Vue boys trying to line up Christoph Kasprzak. Bewley throws it out into the dirt, looking for a way through here on the inside of Kasprzak, but Kasprzak has the pace, he leads out front, maintaining his brilliant form here at the National Stadium tonight, chasing the dirt line. Bewley tried to exploit somebody through on the inside, very little between them, 2 laps gone of heat number 15. Bewley in two minds whether to ride inside or outside, goes outside there, in fact loses quite a bit of ground, and that's left him with plenty of work to do. Kasprzak then from Dan Bewley, looks as if both Belle Vue boys' maximum hopes will go up in smoke in this one, although try telling that to Dan Bewley. Bewley committed to the wide outside, here comes Dan Bewley, and Bewley's gone round the outside of the former world number 2. What a performance from Daniel Bewley, and he's going to finish with a paid maximum. The Aces fans of the grandstand rise to Daniel Bewley. What a performance from him, sensational right there in heat number 15. Brilliant stuff from Bewley. The South Stand, they're absolutely jubilant with that. Bewley punches the air, and what a ride that was. I thought he'd left himself with much too much to do, but Dan Bewley would not be denied. There's no stopping this young man. He has the world at his feet, and what a talent this man is on a speedway bike. Celebratory wheelies down the home straight from both Belle Vue boys. What a sensational race to round off our night's entertainment here at the National Speedway Stadium. I think they're coming round once again on another lap of honour. Daniel Bewley and Max Fricke. What a performance it's been from the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces tonight. They don't quite break the 60-point barrier, but what a comprehensive victory it has been over the Rye House Rockets. Another wheelie down the home straight from Max Fricke. From Dan Bewley as well, he's absolutely loving life. What a performance from both of them there in the last race. The win goes to Dan Bewley, second man home Christoph Kasprzak, third spot went to Max Fricke. A 4-2 in the last, and thus the final score 59 to the Rentruck Belle Vue Aces, 31 to the Rye House Rockets. Dan Bewley is met at the pits gate by his teammates. Up in the air he goes to celebrate his paid maximum here at the National Speedway Stadium tonight. What a sensational performance it's been from this young man, Daniel Bewley.
So then, the official result of in blue. Let's hear it for Dan Bewley. Time 63.
What a way to end the meeting. The victory was most definitely in the bag, but Dan Bewley riding like a demon. It's not difficult to see why people believe he's the epitome of Peter Craven, not just in how he looked, but in how he rides. Poor Christoph Kasprzak didn't know what had hit him. Great ride there from the youngsters to conclude a really exciting night of racing. So for next week, July the 16th, you guys have chosen to see the Kingsland Stars back in action in Manchester, this time from 2017. So be sure to join us on Facebook and or YouTube from next Thursday at 8 o'clock sharp. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We'll see you then.